are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. In a world where there's crime, violence, murder, rape, theft, and all forms of atrocities that plague the world in which we live today, we witness it. We are living in a state of chaos, and it'll take a greater or more extreme chaos to restore the order in which the world we live today. Okay. All right. So I hear my ends, so it looks like my mic is pretty good. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. Welcome again to another session, another live stream, another podcast. Hold on. All right. Tonight, yes, we are going to have a very good discussion of the one late great Carl Weathers, or actually Carl Weathers, yes. His bio, what he has left impression to a lot of people, and the unfortunate transition on a month where really you think about it, if you really think about it, he died on the second day of Black History Month. Untimely, you know. Actually died the first of February, 2024. Yes, beginning of Black History Month. And how we start off with a very, you know, another great actor, impressionable man, a man of, you know, respectfulness, humbleness, and he's a cool guy to get along. If I like to say so myself. For those that's listening, you're listening to the Chaos Rain. We could say after dark edition of the stream. And for those that was listening, welcome. Hope you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, and hope you subscribe to the channel. As I'm looking for my cell phone, I'm saying some things, so I'm just multitasking, as I know. My work is never really done, guys. As you know, at times if I'm not streaming, I'm always think of things to make, unique content, for y'all and for myself. So as I'm looking at this, and let me just move some things around. There we go. We're gonna get into the history. No, we're gonna actually go into his life briefly from the Chaos Reign perspective. If you guys want to share your moments, I'm hoping to see y'all, call in. Hopefully, if not, it is what it is. But nonetheless, we're gonna start this show off and start it off with a brief bio. Actually, no, better before we go to bio, we're gonna go into what has been read about Carl Weathers' passing. So let's look at Hollywood Report. No, actually, matter of fact, we got some better. We're gonna go to the New York Times first, that was posted 2 days ago, roughly Friday, and then we're gonna work away from the last update news of Carl Weathers, and that's gonna probably be more news about his death and remembrance. Here we go. The New York Times. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to read all this because they're gonna. Let me see if there's a description for this. I don't look like it. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's read it. Carl Weathers, who plays Apollo Creed in Rocky movies, died at 76. A former pro linebacker, he had a long acting career that reached beyond the boxing ring, appearing in the action films, comedies, TV dramas, and earning an Emmy nomination. And mind you, the Grammys are today, for those that listen to this broadcast. So I don't know if they're gonna do anything special about the life and death of Carl Weathers. Well, only time will tell. He was a key part of one of Hollywood's most successful movie franchise, MGM, which was Rocky IV, 1985. And at the age, I don't know how old Carl Weathers was at that time. He was in his late 30s at the time when he did this film. So, Carl Weathers, who went from doing out-bone-crunching hits as a linebacker for the Oakland Raiders to delivering knockout punches on the big screen as Apollo Creed, to the nemesis of Sylvester Stallone, lovable lug prize fighter, and Rocky, helping to spark one of the Hollywood's most successful franchise, died Thursday. He was 76. His family said in a statement that he died peacefully in his sleep. The statement did not give any cause or say where he died. Okay, all right, that's fine. And we can always speculate, the guy says he's in good shape and he just died in his sleep. I mean, it's possible, but when we talk about the Hollywood business, is very much suspect, questionable, with a lot of depths nowadays because there is, unfortunately, foul play and a lot of these depths to a lot of actors and other people in the business. But for the sake of conversation, we're going to go by he transitioned from sleep for now. His family said in a statement that he died peacefully. Yeah, we read that already. Mr. Weathers had a long and variety acting career that took him far beyond the boxing ring. He displayed his range over some 80 films and television credits. He memorially, parodied himself as an acting coach in several episodes of the sitcom Arrested Development. Recently, he was the voice of Combat Carl in the anime movie Toy Story 4 and played Greef Karga in the Star Wars television series The Mandalorian, which I heard is a very good series. I'm not sure they're still having more seasons of The Mandalorian, but Greef Karga. Earning an Emmy Award nomination in 2021 for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. Earlier in the Adam Sandler's golf comedy Happy Gilmore, 1996, that's now 20 years ago, Mr. Weathers earned laugh as the Cubby, or the Chubby, who had been a star of the professional circuit before he lost his hand in an alligator attack. Even so, his Apollo Creed character cast a long shadow after the release in 1976 in Rocky, which was nominated for 10 Academy Awards and won 3, including Best Picture. Mr. Weathers praised his role in the next 3 installments, involving from the title character Motor Mount Muhammad Ali-like rival to his trusted friend and trainer. His Creed got one more shot at boxing immortality in the exuberating, if cartoonish Rocky IV, 1985, in which in which he squared off against the Soviet supervillain Drago, Dolph Lundgren, and icy robotic Mega Piglet. I think that's how it sounds. Creed starred Spangled Star Spangled Color entrance in the faithful match, wearing squinty and a Uncle Sam hat while strutting the prancing among casino showgirls as James Brown appeared as himself belt out of the anthem Living in America, seeming at the time to be what they call apostle of the morning in American pop culture patriotism of the Reagan era. Oh yeah, and he had James Brown there too. You never watched the Rocky series? I highly advise you do. And before we continue, guys, one second. I want y'all to do me a favor. Let me find it. One second. I would love everybody, if they're going to watch this during the playback or replay, to follow me and subscribe to my Rumble page. As you know, we know that my page on YouTube, just like the TRS that I do sometimes shows on as well. Follow me on Rumble as well, because like I said, I like to experiment different platforms. And let's be honest, Rumble right now, as I look at it, is going to be the wave right now, moving forward this year and beyond. I think it's going to really pick up more because a lot of content creators are going to start doing content on Rumble. The ones that's either shadow banned or completely demonetized or kicked off YouTube. So, like I said, follow me on Rumble. I'm going to start putting some content or do some content over there. So, please, make your way to Rumble as well. I'm not sure what type of content we do on Rumble, but you know me, I'm probably going to go in. I'm about to go in. That's just a commercial disclaimer. Let's continue. We're going to continue with the good stuff. The good vibes would not last to the end of the sequence, however, as Drago plummets Creed to death with a battering ram left to the jaw, with his signature character killed off. Mr. Weathers worries about his professional future. After so many years of doing a character who is in Nebula, who is as well recognized around the world, people in every language who have seen movies, have seen the Rocky movies, and have seen Apollo Creed. What happens is very often people begin to confuse you with the character. He once said in a television interview, "There is no Carl Weathers." Movie producer, he added, tends to do the same thing. His fear would prove unwarranted. And with his He-Man charisma and sculpture physique, Mr. Weathers matched bulging biceps with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1987 film or action movie Predator. And I think a lot of people are gonna start looking at some of these films now that we have this conversation. A year later, he leveraged his Rocky fame to leading man status, playing a Crusade, Detroit cop, and Action Jackson. Reviewing that the movie for the New York Times, Walters Goodman note that Mr. Weathers was a member of the highly developed upper torso school of movie heroes. Mr. Weathers shafted as such categorization. This label a movie or the label of movie star doesn't really have anything to do with being a really fine actor or actress or artist. Sorry, he said in an interview with British GQ in 2020. Enough promotions of any person, enough movies where that person gets to shown in a particular light can make them a movie star. He continues that doesn't mean their chops are there as an actor to play a character that is perhaps unlike them with complicating ideas behind the dialogue. Carl Weathers was born January 14, 1948 in New Orleans. I don't know if he's born, yeah, New Orleans, yeah. He said in an interview that he considers acting his first love and that he began performing in plays in elementary school. Still, his high school football prowess led him to play defensive end in San Diego State University under the future NFL Hall of Fame coach Don Correll during a bountiful 2-year run for the Aztecs. The team went 11-0 in 1969, which he was 21 years of age, although Mr. Weathers missed much of the season with a knee injury. All the while, he kept his acting dream alive, graduating with a degree in theater arts, but he also kept his sight on football and he became a undrafted linebacker the next year for the NFL most notorious wild bunch, the Raiders. A lasting career in the league was a long shot, though. He was what we call a tweener. Raymond Chester, a tight end who had been a teammate of his, and in an interview last year with Sports Illustrated, Carl was strong and fast and had good size, but he was small for a linebacker. And I think he's rough. They say in some movies they say he was like 6'4", but when you look at the bio, most likely he's roughly a statue of a height of 6'2". Today, Carl would be a safety that would have been the perfect position for him. He had everything it took. He was smart. He could run like a deer. He was what they call chest laid. He was a magnificent athlete. Mr. Weathers appeared in 7 games with Oakland in 1970, but the next season, during a practice after the first game, he was summoned to see John Madden, the Raiders coach and future star broadcaster. He was being cut from the roster. The coach told him, saying, "You're just too sensitive." Okay. "I couldn't let it go, man," Mr. Weathers told Sports Illustrated, recalling the moment it kind of put a chip on my shoulder on one hand and it was like a wound on the other because as a football player, certainly as a professional football player, the last thing you will want to hear is that you're too sensitive. Yeah, I mean, and that's some like pot shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I mean, he looks like a smooth character. I mean, too sensitive? I don't know, man. I gotta really meet him in person, know that. So I don't know if I want to agree with that. Anyhow, on the other hand, without the sensitivity, how could I do or how I be an actor? How could I be an actor of any worthy reality? And it's a picture of him on the Emmy awarding of was it Mandalorian? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Completely information, the complete information on survivals was not immediately available. For all his blood and guts roles over the years, it was on the set of the light-hearted Happy Gilmore that Mr. Weathers suffered serious injuries, fracturing 2 vertebrae in a stunt fall. Fortunately, being an athlete and having been injured a number of times, you kind of learn to live with pain, he told British GQ. Well, I didn't know he suffered injuries during that movie now 28 years ago. Okay. By the mid 1970s, he was making regular television appearances on shows like Good Times, Kung Fu, and The $6 Million Man. His big break with Rocky was soon to follow, although things with Mr. Stallone, who also wrote the film, did not get off to a smooth start at the audition. There was nobody to read with, and they said, "You're going to read with the writers," Mr. Weathers told the Hollywood Report in 2015. "We read through the scenes," he continued, "and at the end of it, I don't feel like it had really sailed, that the scene had sailed, and they were quite, and there was this moment of awkwardness. I felt anyway, so I just blurted out, I couldn't do a lot during if you got me a real actor to work with." Mr. Stallone and turned out appreciates his Apollo Creed like fire. Sometimes Mr. Weathers added the mistake are the ones that get you the gig. All right. And that's the New York Times article that came out on, I think, Saturday. Let's check. Yeah, I think it came out Saturday. So, okay. So now, that's just the New York Times breakdown of his life, briefly. Now, we're going to go to the Hollywood Report. And let's see what they say. Okay, Taylor Swift's gonna have a new album by April. I think that's during the. Oh no, that's not Super Bowl. It might be before the movie, maybe. Carl Weathers' Super Bowl ad being adjusted following his transition. The late actor had appeared in FanDuel ad with Rob Gronkowski. I think I pronounced it. Carl Weathers' FanDuel Super Bowl ad is being adjusted following the actor's passing. The online sports gamble platform released a sneak peek in January of the ad starring former NFL tight end Rob Gronkowski, which features a cameo from the Rocky star. We are deeply saddened and learned Pastor Carl Weathers, FanDuel told by Hollywood Reports in a statement. Throughout life, Carl was an iconic talent who had a profound impact on the people he worked with and on and off the screens. The statement continues, FanDuel was fortunate to have an opportunity to work with him during our Super Bowl campaign. We are adjusting our campaign according out of respect for the family during their time of grief. The ad features Gronkowski walk through the desert towards Las Vegas on his way to make things right after missing the FanDuel kick of destiny. Last year, towards the end of the sneak peek, Weathers pulled up in a motorcycle with a sidecar and tell him this time won't miss together. They drove off into the desert. Weathers died on Thursday in his sleep at his home in Los Angeles. His manager Matt Labert announced, Carl was an exceptional human being who lived an extraordinary life. Labert said in a statement through his contributions to film, television, and arts and sports, he has left an indelible mark and a recognized worldwide and across generations. He was a beloved brother, father, grandfather, partner, and friend. And I think this is the commercial right here. The former NFL player was most well known for his role in Apollo Creed. Okay, yeah, that's a video. And that's it. Okay, that's nice. All right. All right. Hold on first. All right. Oh gosh. I'm looking at this commercial. Yeah, no, that's cool. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it. All right. So that's everything right here, man. All right. Let me go back. Hold on. All right. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to go to Wikipedia. We're going to look at that briefly. I'm not going into much detail with it. And if you guys have any questions, you call the number. The number call in for this stream is, hold on. So the call number is 717-908-1834. I repeat, 717-908-1834. Access code 917324 pound. 717-908-1834. Access code 917324 pound. Today's subject is Carl Weatherspoon, Apollo Creed. Or rest in peace to Apollo Creed, the one, Carl Weathers. Okay, so now I'm only going to skim through. We're going to really skim through, not through his history because it's already revealed. We're going to skim through his real film demographics. And look like he got married a lot. And they say he was really active. I'm not sure in football or in acting, but it said from 1973 to present day. Yeah, present day. And as a football player, he played up to 1974. Because if you remember, he born in 48. So that means he graduated in 66, 65 roughly. And he attended a university for 4 years, graduate, and then he started going into, and he was undrafted in the NFL in 1970 through 1974, period, 4 years. And at the time, he started pursuing acting in 73. So as he did the last year and a half of football, he already was going to be on the door to becoming an actor. So let's go down. And he played for Oakland Raiders from 1970 to 1971 and did the BC Lions from 1971 to 1973. Acting career, as you know, while still playing football, he was his first significant role in 2 blaxploitation films directed by his longtime friend Arthur Mark, Buckdown. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, okay. So that's the first film he did, Buckdown, okay. And then Friday Foster by Pam Grier and Yoda Koto. And matter of fact, we might click onto some of these films. Let me click on what was Buckdown. Buckdown starred Duke Johnson, a former black activist who arrived in Bucktown to bury his brother, a bar owner who was killed for refusing to pay crook white cops for protection. Duke realized he needed help after being threatened himself. His contact of his old friend Roy Thaddeus Razumo, I don't know if I pronounced it right. You get tongue tie. And his associate to come and help, but after disposing of the corrupt, custodians or constapians, Roy gang decides to take over the town for themselves, and a new boss becomes the bad as the old boss. In order to stop them, Duke must defend the town all by himself. And starring Pam Grier, Fred Williams as Duke, Famous Remulus, Tony King, Bernice Hamilton, Terry Turner, and Carl Weathers as Hambone, and Morgan Upton and Jim Bohem. So that's the film. And it came out in July of 1975. So going back. Okay. Then Friday Foster, that movie came out when it came out? December of 1975. Okay. And it's another blaxploitation film by Arthur Mark, starring Pam Grier, title role Yippity Koto, Eartha Kitt, Skipman, Crutch, Carl Weathers, co-stars, an adaptation of the 1970 and 1974 syndicate newspaper comic strip of the same name, scripted by James Lawrence, illustrated by Jorg, Legrand, or Jogger Longrand. This was Grier's final film with American International Pictures, or Gritter. I didn't know that. Oh, this is Pam Grier's final film with American International Pictures. Okay. The tagline of the film poster is Wham Bam, Here Comes Pam. Okay. All right. And that was 1975. Okay. And let me see at what age was Pam Grier. She was born 49. Okay. She might be 75 in May. Okay. which makes sense because she came on Black Exploitation. That's in the 60s, going on 70s. So she was roughly in her 20s, early 20s. Okay. And I'm not gonna go into detail this film because that's irrelevant. Going down, Weathers also appeared in an early 1975 episode of the sitcom Good Times titled "The Nude." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. In 1975 episode Kung Fu titled The Brother Kane, and the episode of Canon titled by Hero in 1976, he appeared as a loan shark in an episode of the crime drama Starkey and Hux, and the Bar Baby Jones episode in Bounty Hunter and escape convict Jack Hooper. 1 second, guys. All right. All right. Let's see what else. I'm just looking at this. And also, and is when he started rolling in Apollo Creed, the audition for the role of Apollo Creed alongside Sylvester Stallone and Rocky Weathers criticized Stallone's acting, which led to him getting the role. He appraised his role Apollo Creed in the next three Rocky films, Rocky the Second in 1979, and Rocky the Third, 1982, and Rocky the Fourth, 1985, which that was his last film as Apollo Creed because he got, you know, deleted by Drago, by Dolph Lundgren. And then Weathers briefly appeared in Army MP, one of the three released versions of Close Encounter of the Third Kind. Let me see what that is. I think that is a movie. Yeah, that movie made a lot of money. Okay. It was released in 1977 and 1978. Weathers portrayed Vince Sullivan in a TV movie Not This Time. The late 1970s and 1980s, Weathers starred in a number of acting films for the small and big screen, including Force 10 from what it called Navorian. Let me click what that is. It's interesting. It's a novel that was written in 1968. Okay, I guys could look that up. He starred in Predator, and that movie came out in '78. Then he starred in Predator in 1987, Action Jackson, which was one of my actual favorite movies. And the reason why, because Action Jackson was his only, and I mean only, star role film. And he's been in the business during that time after 1973. So it took him roughly a whole decade and a year, 11 years, to get his own solo star role film. Imagine that. Now, mind you, when you an actor, an impressionable actor, and depending on how your acting is good or what roles you take, in my opinion, he could have probably gotten a star role. And I know he could have got a star role because let me tell you something. If a man that's been in the business for more than 10 years and he's been on occasional films, some that's blockbuster and some that's mediocre. If you star in Rocky, you can't tell me that those directors or people present you scripts to be in some star role film. I believe that he was offered many star roles. Remember, Rocky won 3 Academy Awards. Now, I'm not sure. No, I'm convinced he could have did other roles. Roughly. But I think with him, I think he was very selective with the roles he wanted to take. And I think the reason why, in my opinion, and someone's gonna probably give a different opinion why he took the role of Action Jackson. But I think, Action Jackson made sense, in my opinion. And I got a chance last month to watch it for the first time. And I liked it. I had to do some digging about it, some background what the movie is about. But really, truly, this movie, was a good movie. If you think about it, come click on it now. Action Jackson. This film was 1988. and as you know, it was directed by Craig R. Baxley. In his feature debut, directorial debut, produced by John Silvers and starring Carl Weathers, Vanity, Sharon Stone, Craig T. Nelson. Weathers portrayed the title role of Jericho Action Jackson, a Detroit police detective investigating a corrupt auto mitigated Nelson. The musical score was composed by Herbert Hancock and Michael Kamen. Okay. The film released United States by Lorimar Film Entertainment on February 12, 1968. So when the next today is in the next 8 days, counting, it's gonna be 36 years since that film was released. Now I caught it. I was able to watch this movie now for the first time. In January, so roughly I could say it was roughly 35 years for me when I first watched this. Now watching the film for the first time, because the movie is that old. And as you go down, I'm not going to the plot because I want people to go back and rewatch this because it's giving out too much detail. This movie had a budget of $7 million and it made roughly $65 million. Made a lot of money. And everybody know back then, if you look at 7 million and you make 65 million, that's like equivalent of you made double and more than you made out of that movie. With, small little promotion in there, you made back your money and some. And my rule is, like most movies now that's now pushing at 100 million or more, roughly, if that's the average right now movie right now, if you look at America, the average movie now to produce, generally, if we're going to go there, we'll look at 70 to almost $100 million. And these movies that's taking more than it needs to make, to be honest with y'all, is on the average not really making back their money like they should be making. Because if you invest $1 million, $100 million in your film, you need to take back no more greater than 400 to 500 million on the average. Which you really not only make even, but you made a significant profit. As y'all know, I did the little reviews about these comic book movies from DC Universe. Some of these movies are not barely making an additional extra 400 million. Most of them they'll make as either 100 million, maybe 200 million if they're lucky. But they'll make back what they spent, but you got to keep in mind of the promotion. And that's what we miss, the promotion side of things. So overall, that's a lot of money that very little money took to make this movie, and they made back and more of their money. So it's a good movie. I highly advise everybody to go back and watch it. If you didn't watch it, you should watch it. All right. So that's it. Oh, and if you look at it, this was Vanity's last movie. And what I mean by last movie, she actually, you think about it. Damn it. Oh, I'm done. Vanity, she starred in a few movies back in the early 80s, and she did from 1980 to 1988. She only did movies for roughly 8 years at the age of 21. So yeah. So and she was like also the co-star as well, Vanity. Yeah, let me look at this. And Sharon Stone starred in that was also a co-star in the movie too. She was like 21 at the time when this movie was produced. All right, so let me go back. And also Weathers appeared in music videos like Liberia Girl by Michael Jackson. Oh, I forgot. He also was in the movie called Hurricane Smith. I don't know what that is. Oh no, my fault. He did star in another movie. He also starred in Hurricane Smith as well, and that came out in 1992. So he was like 44 at the time when he starred in this movie. I'm gonna check that movie out. And it's called Dead on Delivery. And what else? On how much money? The movie itself. Oh, yeah, that movie did not did good at all. That's why they never mentioned that movie. The budget of that movie was like $5 million. It only grossed from Australia, and everywhere else not even made its money. Ooh. I'm gonna check it out still. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. All right, keep going. What else? What else is on here? And he hosts episodes of Saturday Night Live in 1988 as well. Appeared as skit on a show in 2003. Okay, and he starred in he also played in Adam Sandler's movie Happy Gilmore of 1996. Then Little Nicky, film stunt Happy Gilmore, and another notable television role Sergeant Adams Buchanan by Street Justice, and then In the Heat of the Night of 1992. Let me see what was that about. Let me check that and click that. Yeah, it's like a TV series. Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else is just going down the list, and I can go down the list, but it'd be redundant at this point. And you could check more about his film history from TV to film. Okay. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. So wait. Oh wait. What's this? He also was on video games as well. Interesting. I didn't know this. He was voice of a video game called Mercenaries Playground of Destruction that came out 19 years ago, 2005, as Colonel Samuel Garrett. And also, he was the voice of Jax Dillon Skin of Mortal Kombat X. Interesting. And the Artful Escape, which is another video game. I'm not sure if it's a good video game, but anywho. So that's pretty much it. That's it. All right. Well, that's as far as I'm gonna go. If you guys have any questions, raise your hand now or forever hold your peace. I'll give you a few minutes. And like always, guys, follow me on Rumble. My Rumble page is CRain23 at Rumble. So please follow me on Rumble. I do looking forward to hearing from y'all. I want to hear what y'all take on it. Your memories of Carl Weathers, what you liked about him, what you didn't like about him. Is acting him as a character or your views. I mean, all is open right now. Yeah. I think one thing with Carl Weathers, the one thing I like about him, it's like you see him as a cool, very much not athletic, but he's one of them brothers that you can sit there and have a good conversation, a reason about life. That's how I see Carl Weathers. He's a guy that you could have a good conversation personally. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. All right. All right. All right. Oh, I got one person. You be my only caller. Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's going on, Gary?
How you doing? How you doing, Jay?
Keeping
What's
the
up?
lights,
What's up?
keeping the lights on, brother. Keeping the lights on. Much respect.
Mhm.
So, Did you mention what was his first movie? What was his first movie?
His first movie. Let me check again. I think his first movie was
Because of course
titled.
everybody knows him for Rocky, but he did some other stuff prior to that as well that I remember he was. I just don't remember the title.
His first movie, he first was a black exploitation movie. I think he was in like two or three black exploitation movies of the 70s. One in '75 called Buck Down.
75 called Buck Down.
Yeah, 1975. Buck Down.
Okay. 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 Wow. Yeah, he's definitely a legend. I mean, I think that he had an iconic role, obviously in Rocky. Everybody remembers the whole part of the Russian guy killing him, but I mean, the one of the main pieces was that he built a relationship, at least in the movie, with Sylvester Stallone's character, and it made Sylvester Stallone Rocky's the character better in the sport. You know what I'm saying? So he was a pivotal piece to the extent that they decided to make a movie or continue the movie by doing Creed, right? And I don't know, they're on the third Creed movie. So to me, I mean, he was a big influence. Just his character in that movie was big, but it just it kind of just evolved into other stuff. And again, not just him being in the first one, or then after whatever happened with him and Rocky in the movie, he starts training him. He starts helping Rocky to be able to deal with, because he had the guy, his brother-in-law, and the white man I think he was still alive, but he was a pivotal piece because he was in the ring. So I mean, I think again his character was good, and Action Jackson is a classic. I don't know a lot of people know about that movie, but that was a classic movie.
Yeah, it was. I think that was the only movie, if he knows, when he starred, and he starred another movie after that in 1992, but it didn't really make much money at all. And at the box office with a budget of $5 million. From looking at it, that Action Jackson was the one that put him on as the front man of of superheroes. Cause remember when people talk about black films and they can go back to a few actors that they could say is a black actor that was an action hero. They will go back, and the first thing, if they didn't come to mind, was Action Jackson. I don't know what to say.
Wow. But
who was a black person, especially a black man, will say, what do you think was the most influential black movie?
Wow.
They would have to say Action Jackson.
Wow. So that it goes to show you that, I mean, you said he didn't star in many roles, right, as far as the starring actor. But the movie that he did star in and he co-starred in were two of the biggest films ever. I mean, at least Action Jackson, outside of the black community, because I think a lot of people that if you was around in the 90s, right, 80s and the 90s, you most likely saw that movie. A lot of people went to the movies to see it. A lot of people rented the movie when it came out on VHS. That's when people have VHS, for those that don't know what VHS is, the video cassettes. You know what I mean? So he definitely was an impact. And maybe he didn't do so many roles is because he had a conscience of what characters he was going to play.
Yeah, man. I would highly recommend people, if they know any, streaming service of any nature, to go back to some of his catalog of work. I probably will. Matter of fact, can I check it now? I might have to do that. None I'm talking to. Yeah. And I'm gonna look at.
I always wanted to see him in other movies because he was a good actor. That movie was like, I said, where's the next one?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Oh, damn it. All right.
And think about it, even in Rocky where he got killed, the whole point of Rocky coming back to fight that guy was because of him.
Mhm. Oh, damn it won't allow me. All right. Well, it looks like I'll have to put it here. Let me find that one. Action Jackson. Damn it. I think the site's down. Wow. Let me type it up here. Action Jackson.
Hey, you play Apollonia, right? Do you play Apollonia? Not Apollonia. Vanity.
I did play one of our songs. Oh yeah, it's down. Oh damn, the site is down. All right, well screw it. I'm gonna have to go on Tubi. Let me go on Tubi. See if they got any of his movies. And you know, Tubi is the place for a lot of black actors and putting out movies or shows. That's the place, man. All right. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to do something. 1 second. Talk for a minute, Jay. Okay. Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Hey, speak a little bit while I'm trying to do something.
No, so I mean, like I said, I think that the limited movies that he played in, you know, two of the biggest was the Rocky and Action Jackson, and it was like movies that if you ain't see it, go see it. You know, I mean, you see what I'm talking about. Good movie all around.
Yeah.
You had Vanity, you know, she was in there. That was classic.
Yeah, it was very much classic.
And then I think Low Down Dirty Shame was kind of a spin-off of it. I don't know if it came out before or after, but I think it came out after.
Okay, Cocaine Cowboy. Is this the one? There's silence. I'm gonna go back. The Players Club in 1998. This was 1997, but okay. Let me type it up.
Matter of fact, if you watch Low Down Dirty Shame, you see similarities.
What you said? Wait 1 second. I don't know if this is the one. Alright. Let me see this. Randall, Dark Bench, I Spy, White Crane, Chronicles. Alright, so I'm gonna have to they ask it. I want to be on the app. Alright, let me go back. I'm gonna type up Action Jackson on Tubi. See if they have it.
They should have it.
Oh, they got Scan on here too. All right. So Action Jackson. I don't see it. It's not showing. Yeah, it's not showing here. Let me go down. Make sure. Creed. Yeah, it's not showing that stuff.
It probably got it like on Amazon. Should have it.
Nice. The Human Race. Yeah, but I don't know what Tubi's where it's at, bro. Person. Savage when this came out. And we're going with that. All right. So let me scroll up. I know people. I don't want dead silence. I apologize, but I gotta look up to see if anybody could watch some of this old stuff now on here. Actually, oh, you know what? I could put Action Jackson. I should did that. Let me type that. Action. Jackson. I should put his name instead. Let's do that. Let me try that. Carl Weathers. Damn, I can't. Oh, let me put in Happy Gilmore. What I'm doing. Because I found it. I found him. I found him. Let me see if I could type it, click his name, and see what movies he appears. Oh damn! Oh, that's some messed up. They limit most of his movies, bro. He's on In the Heat of the Night, which is a drama series.
Oh, that was
American.
Yeah, he was on the TV show. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Fine One. Yeah, they're not gonna do it. These bastards. Yeah, I expect it. The Heat of the Night, drama, mystery, crime, mystery. Man, oh well. Yeah, guys going to find ways to find some of his old stuff.
There's got to be somewhere where you could download or stream the movie.
It's possible, but you have to be cautious of the viruses. Well, unless you want to get viruses on your junk.
I'm saying get it from a legitimate spot. Like, I'm not saying go down. I'm saying a place where you could download the movie, like Amazon or one of those legitimate sources.
Well, I see.
It's not like the way it used to be before. In the beginning, you could do it and get all type of movies, but now, like you said, there's more viruses than ever. You probably just want to purchase it.
It's funny. As I was typing this, I just noticed that when Scarface, that was now had their 40th anniversary last year, that Carlito's Way came out 10 years later. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, 92. 93?
No, 93. Because Scarface came in 93.
Right.
I mean, Scarface came in 1983, and then 10 years later, this came out.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't bring back Scarface, Tony Montana, so they had to do another character, and so
they did Carlito's Way.
Yeah, I think the second one was trash though. When they did the second
Carlito's Way.
Yeah, the second one was trash.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I can't say it's trash.
They did it backwards though. They did this they showed the beginning on a part 2 instead of part 1, which I thought that was weird, but
okay.
Yeah. But anyway, the 90s, 80s, I think they had a lot of good movies, and again, the brother was, in 2 classic, iconic movies. If you haven't seen them, you should. Most people saw Rocky. They give Rocky all over the place, so I'm pretty sure 9 out of 10 they saw on that. But the Action Jackson one, certain people saw that if you was from that era or, came across the history. It's not a movie that's actually advertised on a regular, or you could see it, every once in a while they'll put it on cable TV, but.
Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate,
Yeah.
Passed away.
Well, like I said, I like to reminisce on the good times, not always the down times, because like good men, they come and go, and he has left a fruitful of movies, TV shows, even the Mandalorian that he played in when they revamped the Star Wars franchise with Mandalorian. He served his time well while he was still alive, Carl. And there are going to be many more actors, but nothing like him, though. I think one thing, because the Grammys might have concluded now, that if he doesn't have his own star on the Hollywood floor, I think it's a disservice, personally. Carl Weathers.
Yeah, I mean, even if because there's given stars to people that haven't really. I mean, they've done stuff, but you look at it and then you're like, wait a minute, there should be other people, and then some people get it late. Like they just gave George Clinton his star. Like all this time, what the hell y'all waiting
George
for?
who?
George Clinton.
George
Clinton from the Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
That's they call him one of like the Godfather of funk, you know.
Okay.
So I mean, he's an iconic figure for years, and they just gave him his star. And I just found out that you gotta pay to get your star on there. It's not just you get
what?
it, they giving you. Yeah, do your research.
I put through the work, and especially
Bro.
when a award, you got paid to put your star mantle so people recognize you as an actor.
Well, you know that did you see the Cat Williams interview?
I have not watched the full interview, but I'm going to have to do that now.
Watch it because I mean he's controversial. I like him and he's bugged out and shit. And maybe don't agree with him on everything, but he did what he said he did. He paid for somebody to get their star on the Walk of Fame. I think they were going to give him a star. He said nah, and then he said give some. I forgot what it was a singer. Melba Moore. I think it was Melba Moore.
Okay.
Melba Moore. He paid for it. So he said that he was saying, he thinks that, it's not right that because you can't afford to get your star, can't afford it, that you shouldn't get a star when you, icon. That's how I found out that you got to pay for the star. But it's the same thing with the Grammys. We just had the Grammys tonight, right? The Grammys is not. Jay-Z did a really good speech.
Who won the best film? Who won the best film in the Grammys? None of that.
No, it wasn't no film. It was all music. Oh, music.
Okay.
Music. But Jay-Z got an award. Jay-Z got an award. There's a couple of artists that got an award, but Jay-Z he got the Dr. Dre Iconic Award or something like that, and he got on the Grammys ass. On the thing, I don't know if you could pull that shit up. You should pull it up. He got on the Grammys.
No. I'm not wasting time.
Oh, no. Well, he went. He got at the Grammys. The point is that he put the Grammys in check, talking about how they should now have more black music, more hip hop, and respect hip hop culture. Because there was times.
Oh my goodness, that's not gonna happen, man.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. He took the moment. I mean, he could have danced around things, but he took the moment that they gave him that award, and he basically publicly checked them. And a lot of people, they were clapping. You could hear people clapping. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people were in agreement in that. He just checked them live, so it was almost a little spanking publicly. Whether they make changes or not, that's we'll see. But they have been making changes little by little. Like I seen today, they had more diversity, which should be happening anyway. But it's now happening. So they are making some changes. They're slow with it, but Jay-Z is an example. They gave him an iconic award from Dr. Dre, in honor of Dre's name. And then what he did, he made sure that he took that moment. He thanked people and everything, but he said, "Hey, Grammys, y'all gotta get y'all shit together. Like we gotta do better." That's all. So I mean, that was just a highlight, and just to say, the things that's happening right now, and with the changes, and we're talking about even like we can't find certain movies and things like that. It should be more emphasis and more highlights on some of these iconic people, like I said, because he might have not made 100 movies, but he made a few movies that were good, and then 2 of them that are classic movies. So
all right, Jay,
one hitter. Yeah.
I gotta take another call. Thank you. All right, caller, who's this?
Hello, this is Antoinette. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Antoinette? How are you?
Good. And hello, Jay. I wanted to add to Jay's comment. Jay, not only do they have to pay for their stars, but they also have to pay to continue with the upkeep of them as well. and from
man, are you serious? That means they do
yes,
not respect. No.
the last
eh,
the last one that I'm trying to remember her name now. But a Motown singer, Martha Reeves, and it's costing $50,000 just to have the star to put down for her star to be there.
So you know what comes to my mind? If they had to pay to be commended and remembered when people walk through the streets of Hollywood in a certain part of Hollywood, that tells me they do not value any of these actors. They're there for means or greater means to make them millions and billions of dollars, and all they get for is not even any praise or combination of the work they do. Only thing is what you produce, and to have you pay for your own memory for everybody to know in the Walk of Stars, it's a slap in the face.
Yes, it
It's
is.
actually it's a big. That's why you know one thing. Now I can see why a lot of actors that get awards from Hollywood, like Grammys, not, I'm sorry, what Oscars, right? I don't see most of
Mhm.
them get caught up because it's not really hold no value. I mean,
No,
look at
I
Leonardo
mean
DiCaprio. If you look at Leonardo DiCaprio, he been in this business since he was a teenager in the late '80s, and start really acting with his roles like Juliet, Romeo and Juliet, and what do you call it, the Titanic in the early mid '90s to present. And the films he do are very much they have meaning, but it does not
yeah.
get you no Academy Award. But even if he gets it, he has to. If he wants to people remember him, besides if they go back to some films, they have to. He has to pay for anyone that goes to Hollywood to see his name plastered in star. Same with
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp did a lot of roles. The one role that he was well known that people will still keep talking about even today is Pirates of the Caribbean. Which right now, if I my mistaken, I think the rumor is that they're trying to either recast it or do some of a following continual, and they would want him back. From what I'm hearing, 'cause I saw some little fan fake trailers, but
Mhm.
it would not be surprised if Disney is going to move to that. Because right now, for them to recast and start over with some different people, they're going to lose a lot of money, personally, in my opinion. And last night I checked, DC, I mean Marvel, that's in business with Disney, that they're losing already money already. The last thing they want to do is put out any films that made a lot of money and then recast it without a certain actors that help push that movie the way it was. You know, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's me. But like I said, this is some new information. I learned a lot, so makes sense. But anything else, Antoinette?
No, that's about it. I just wanted to chime in and let you know that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right,
You're
guys.
welcome.
That's it for today's memorial stream. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers, born January 14th, 1948 to February 1st, 1920. I mean 2024. I highly advise everybody go back to some of his old catalogs if y'all guys can, to you can remember the man and appreciate the work while he was around. And that's pretty much it. I'd like to thank everybody. Oh, and one other thing before I end, to let everybody know this is that follow me on Rumble, C Rain 23 on Rumble. As you know, I want to do some more hardcore raw raunchy content over on Rumble. So with your help following me on Rumble, which is now in the chat room, subscriber. And I know most people don't know much about Rumble. Rumble's been around for over a decade now. Let people know. So give it a shot. That's all I ask people. I know people like to use YouTube because YouTube is an available app, like most application on the phone. But it wouldn't hurt trying some other content out there. Just a thought. But that's pretty much it. Oh, the links to follow me are the font. Follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. join my Discord service as well. Like I said, follow me on Rumble and become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. Memberships, 2-tiered memberships, pick your poison, like always. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening to today's stream. And until next time, take care and good night.